If you're trying to create a test or a quiz to give to your students, you're going to do that in a very similar way in which you create an assignment. So you're going to go into your module, you're going to go to the assessment section, and you're going to click on create test. So the way that's going to look is like this. So we're going to go to module 3, which is where I've been doing most of the sample assignments. Okay, you're going to click on assessments, and then you're going to click on test. Now, if you also look here, there is a mobile compatible test option, which is actually fairly new. I don't think there's a difference between the two other than this one's going to be mobile compatible. It's such a new feature, I haven't had a chance to sample it yet. So this is actually a mobile compatible test, and then I'll just create a regular test as well. I have tests already created that I can just slide over, but we're just going to create a new one. We're just going to call this sample test. Okay, you put the description, all the examples, the instructions in the description go there. You're going to click submit. And once you do that, you're now going to be able to create questions. You can either do a calculated formula, essays, fill responses, multiple choice and multiple answer are different. Multiple choice, there's only one answer. Multiple answer is of which of the following applies to whatever, and then you can select multiple things. Ordering, short answers, true, false, whatever you want to do. So let's do a multiple choice. Okay, question. You could put a question title, but I usually don't. I'm just going to call this sample question. Okay. The answer numbering, orientation, you could decide that. If you want to allow partial credit, you can. I always like to do answers in a random order. This way, it's harder for students to copy off each other. So I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are the 4 different answers, and then which one is correct. I always put the correct answer in answer number 1, and I know that may sound weird at first, but one of the things you can do when you scroll to the bottom, when you edit the test options, is you can randomize the order, right? Here it is, show answers in random order. So whether I make this number 1 or number 2, when it's shown to the students, it's not going to be 1 or 2. It's going to be totally randomized anyways. So I'm going to click submit, and now that question is created, and here it is. So now when you're done, you just click OK, right? And there's that sample test. So now I'm going to click on sample test, click submit, and now that test, click cancel. So there it is. So now that test is there. Now, if you look, when you make a test for the first time without a date range or anything, if I go to student preview, you'll notice it's not there. Where is that sample test, right? So what you have to do is go back to that test and figure out why the students can't see it, even though you know it's there. And that could be one of a few reasons. The most common, date range is off, and the other common reason is this. When you go there, you'll see how this is grayed out a little bit, and this is filled in more. If you look, availability hidden from students. So you need to go into the options. So you go to this little circle here, click on that, and just go to make available. And when you click on make available, and you see how the colors kind of fill in there, and now that test is available for students. The other thing you can do also is if you go to the test options, you have some options here as well. So you can make it available to students, yes. You can create an announcement. You can decide if you want to give them multiple attempts and how you're going to score that. I usually do forced completion. So once it's started, it must be completed in one sitting. If you're going to put a time on it, you can set a timer and give them, say, 45 minutes to do the test. And after 45 minutes, you can have it set where after 45 minutes, it submits, or you can just have auto submit off. It'll let you know they went over the time, and you can kind of decide how that's going to work on your end. Here's the date range. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, some date ranges, due dates, things like that. The test preparation all the way at the bottom. I like to do one question at a time. And I also like to randomize the question. So in the event students are trying to do the test together, they can't see the whole test, only one question at a time, and all the questions are randomized. So question 1 to one student is going to be a different question another student. And remember, the answers are also randomized as well. So the questions and the answers are randomized. So no two tests are going to be identical. And because there's only one question at a time, they can't say, hey, what's the answer to number 3? Oh, I got A. Okay, I'm going to put A for number 3. Well, A is going to be different for each student, and number 3 is going to be different for each student. And so those are some of the ways I've created tests, and I've implemented some safeguards to prevent students from copying off of each other. The other option you also have is the Respondus lockdown feature, which was actually just recently added. Personally, I haven't played around with it at all. However, I understand what it's designed to do. It basically locks down the browser so that students can't surf the web while they're trying to take an exam. So they can see the exam, they can take the test, but they can't try to Google search some options. And so that's not going to be included in this tutorial simply because I've never used it and I'm still learning about it myself. But I still have those other safeguards in place that you can utilize, and maybe reach out to the Center for Innovative Pedagogy for more support on the Respondus browser lockdown feature, which is in Blackboard already. You just have to utilize it.